Okay.
And we're live. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to episode 309 of the OotiniCast. Yes, the pace is slowing as we're in the semi-bi-weekly mode, but so be it. As we're going to record not next week, the week after, as per usual. After that, we'll see, because I've got my exam Thursday week for that will get school out of the way, so to speak, so I may actually have some more time to actually do something, and actually, I should talk about this later. At work, the project we've been way late on, we just sent off the last stuff yesterday, and so it's done, at least until they start rejecting things, but for now, we're all good. So I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
Which is nice, yeah, so... Yeah. All right. Anything we want to talk about before we go, or shall we just start? Let me just make sure you are both recording.
Yeah, I'm recording. I'm also hosting.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, I've confirmed my Audacity is rolling as well.
Thank you very much. And I will tweet out right now.
I've tweeted out as well.
Thank you. Very nice. Yep. Let's talk roadmap. Yeah. Nice timing, Keith. Thank you very much. All right, let's do it, Shell.
Okay. Going in 5. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast. You'll all come. You, your child, you'll all live in comfort. This is episode 309, being recorded on Thursday, June 1st, 2017. I'm your host, Jill, with our producer and co-host, Tio. Hi, Tio.
Hey, guys.
And our guest today is Leva. Hey, Leva, so welcome back. How have you been? What you been up to?
Thank you. It's going really well. I have finished my consular story where I was equipped with the Senya lightsaber pike.
Nice.
And so now I'm doing an agent that I haven't done for 4 years. So it feels like it's a brand new character that I can't remember the story at all. And it's actually really fun. And she's defiant against the Sith. And she's resenting the Imperial intelligence. And she hates Hunter. So we're going to smash him up.
Nice.
Yeah,
they do a good job of
really
making...
fun.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job of making you not like him.
Yeah. But it's actually really fun to do again. Unfortunately, I didn't get to talk Jadis all the way down in my confrontation. But... So we're going to see how the ending is going to be on this. It's going to be different than the first time I played it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's part of the fun, really is. Even
Yeah, it's so different on this
seeing
storyline.
seeing the different options.
Other than that, I got a really, really great surprise on Friday. Friday during stream, like at the beginning of the stream, I got a message from customer service of a live agent chat, and I was a little bit puzzled and a little bit nervous because I didn't want them to show any personal information, you know. So it was a little bit weird. They wanted to have, ask if I had a moment. So I just said, well, I'm live streaming, but sure. Then I got the message back that, well, hello everyone. This is Keith Kanik.
Oh, wow.
It was Keith
Wow.
Kanik via his droid name dropping by to give me a gift from a mutual friend at BioWare. He gave me the 2 Lug Horde armor sets.
Wow.
Nice.
Cool.
And
That's really good.
everyone wanted proof that it was him via Twitter.
Everyone's paranoid. Yep.
Yeah. And instead of that, he just said, you know what? I'm just going to drop by the stream. So he sat there and hung out with us for a few minutes in my channel. It was really fun. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
Very cool.
So I thought it was really cool. He's really investing his time with the community and what content creators are doing. So that's really, really great. I was really excited. And other than that, I have 2-year anniversary on Twitch on June 11th. So I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream where I'm going to be doing some giveaways with the help of Eric Moscow. So it's going to be great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good.
that's about it.
Excellent. All right. And how about you, Tio?
Oh, nothing really to report except the 3 things that are keeping me away from gaming. Well, at least 2 of which, school and work, are easing off. And so I'm actually will have some time to play in roughly 2 weeks from now. So looking forward to that, which is roughly when 522 will drop. And lots of good stuff in there, which we'll talk about shortly. So anyway, nothing more from me. Over to you, Chill.
All right. Well, let's do a shout out to the chat room. Lots of people here. I believe some of them specifically because of Leva, which is awesome. Anu is here. Avant Razor, Azworai, Born to Eat Bacon is here. Krillfex, Dekion, Dreadex, Dynamic Logan, Aerodrasta, I guess. Evan04111. Leva is here. Jedi Cyfrog, Leston Lash, Maximus, Mephistiel, Minerva Krios, Mountain Dew Knight, there we go. Raw Data Zero, Siskaika, Starry Saber, the Rinaldo, Traffic, X Revan 23, Bullwinkle, Xander, and Zoner. Hello, everyone. All right. Well, I did get Chill Snap through Kotet, so he's all done, and I cast about for what to do next. So I started a Scoundrel. This one's named Chill Rogue. I'm enjoying it. It's a mostly dark side point of view. I do some neutral once in a while. I think I've done like 2 light side options the whole time. But basically dark side point of view, and it's a lot of fun. It's been a while since I've done that storyline, so there's lots of details that I've forgotten, although the broad swaths are sort of coming back to me.
Yeah,
but
I love
lots
the
of little
smuggler
details.
story.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. And I happen to really like the voice actor who does it. She does a good job.
Yeah.
I'm also, this time, I am swallowing every instinct in my body, and I'm going to romance Giant Rube Corso Riggs. So, yeah.
Oh, come
'Cause
on,
he's
sweet.
He's sweet, except when he's being, he's the sweet but disturbing. He's sometimes very, he comes up with these things that are like, okay, nice guy or, closet serial killer. Hard to tell the difference with him sometimes. But yes, he's sort of, and he's very, very sort of old-fashioned, has the sort of, doesn't want to hurt women sort of vibe thing going on. Yet,
That's
well,
not a bad
shoot
thing.
a guy in the face, that sort of thing. Yeah, and is really happy about it. So it's, it's really weird. And like the first time, like when you start up the romance arc with him, and I've never known this because I've never done it with him before, is he asks you to close his eyes, and you assume it's going to be like the first kiss. You open your eyes, and he's given you a gun. So there you go. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's
He's kind of like a country boy, kind of,
That's right. Yeah. He
I
likes
see
his
him
guns.
kind of like one of those who goes out there and firing off their rifles for fun.
Yes, he definitely has a gun rack somewhere for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And a shout out to Farseer, who did a stream raid on me, which was fun. It's nice, much nicer than it sounds. It means he actually had all of his audience come over and just say hi and hang out in my stream for a while. And so we chatted it out, and it was pretty funny. It's just all of a sudden there's a way more people here, and it's hello everyone. It's so they got to see what I do, and I got to say hi to Farseer and a lot of his audience, and it was really cool. So, well, shout out to him anyway. So, because I think he sent them out at the end of his stream. I could be wrong. I didn't get that part of the story, but it was very nice. So, thank you, Farseer. So, that'll bring us to the tip of the week. And since we only have one tip this week, it's going to be pretty obvious who's the winner is going to be. Do you want to read it, Tio, or shall I?
You go ahead.
All right. Sin Wolf wrote in a painful pug attempt at Eternity Vault. Oh, boy. I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention. Don't mind pug groups, so please don't take this as a hating the pug thread. We'd made it to the infamous puzzle boss. Our groups did the typical right equals south, left equals north. This had put my portion of the team in the south. We finally started the puzzle, and 2 members of the north terminal were slain by the dreaded disconnect boss. Yeah, once word spread, we decided to just slash duck. But hey, on this boss, you don't have to die. To the left, on the north and right, on the south terminals, you can find a clickable terminal. This causes the whole puzzle boss to reset. It stops the spawns, resets the puzzle, and pulls you out of combat. Why do I mention this? Well, my terminal had killed the spawns when the slash duck decision was made. I casually walked over and clicked the reset terminal. About 30 seconds later, 2 members of my portion of the team died. Why? Or as he phrased it more specifically, why? The pug never did get back together, and we ended up dropping the group. But just remember here, this is one boss that doesn't have to kill you, even if you need to wipe. Just hit the terminal and try again. Thanks all, and Chill and Tio as always, keep up the excellent work. Moving to Utini was probably the second best decision I ever made in SWTOR, first being the pre-release purchase of the really expensive box.
Where the hell did this terminal come from? I don't recall ever seeing that in Eternity
It's
Vault.
always been there.
It's always been
Really?
there. Yeah,
Yes.
it's just off. It's kind of
A
off to the
lot of
side.
people just don't know.
Yeah,
I clearly did notice it. Too goal-oriented, obviously. There you go.
I think it's a pretty good it's a pretty good tip because a lot of people forget this, and
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't know.
all the veterans who's used to this, they don't think about it, so it's a good tip. I think so.
Well, that would make life so much easier. Oh well.
All right, well, obviously the winner by non-random allotment is Sinwolf. So congratulations, Sinwolf, you're the winner of a Tonfon or M83R Droid pet code courtesy of Bioware and an OotiniCast provided cartel market pack from the latest shipment. And if you'd like a chance to win the same, please send your tips to OotiniCast@gmail.com by, well, let's say next Wednesday, because we still are planning on doing shows occasionally every week when news warrants. That will bring us to the Holo feed. Tio?
Well, we actually have a lot to talk about. Let's not bury the lead, but we will leave it for later. The roadmap. Keith Koenig's roadmap has been published just yesterday. So he made the end of May, and that's fantastic. But before we get there, let's talk about a few other things, which is a lot of related to Keith's pledge to communicate more with the player base. And they've been doing a lot of communicating with the player base. At least via the official forums and other social media as well. It's fantastic. So, and I just did want to comment that the change in strategy seems to be that with the prior management, so to speak, they were very much about only revealing information at the more or less the last moment when they were absolutely sure something was going to happen. They weren't going to hint at anything they were doing. But clearly that strategy has been completely changed with Keith's leadership, and I for one think it's fantastic. What harm does it do to actually talk about what you're doing? What's the worst that can happen? Some people can yell at you. People are going to yell at you anyway, so it's the internet.
True.
So
Yeah, if you don't like being yelled at, you shouldn't be on community development on a major video game.
indeed, and they accept that, and it's all fine. So it's all about just being open and transparent, and what's the worst going to happen? You disappoint a few people sometimes, but at least you're open and transparent and honest. Yeah,
Right.
anyway. So,
We'll
let's
probably
get
nip a lot of it in the butt.
Exactly. Expectations are kept realistic because you know what's happening. Yeah, more about that later in terms of expectations for this year based on what they're telling us. But anyway, so let's start with the Harbinger, our server. And probably the biggest server in SWTOR, West Coast PV. Well, back when there was PVE, now it's just the biggest server on the West Coast. There were issues, you may recall. We talked about it last week. There was what amounted to a rollback at one point. After the maintenance, things were bad, and people had logged in after the maintenance had problems. Anyway, all of that was eventually resolved. Yeah, and so people were asking, so what are you going to do about the Harbinger? And so this is Keith responding. And just being honest, they've had to address a number of issues with the Harbinger over the past couple of months. Well, it's hard to hide, isn't it? And they even had to extend the downtime this past month, which we're just talking about, to resolve database concerns. And they did communicate regularly during that outage, and they've just been getting better at that. I like the way Keith phrased this. I won't give you platitudes about the issues you've raised, but also do not want to enter into contentious discussions about upcoming changes, which we haven't told you about. I fully understand your frustration and hope you'll hang with me long enough to realise how much I do care about our players, our game, and everyone's opinions. The team will deliver some amazing changes this year, and it won't all be bling. That means a lot of bling, but a little bit of substance in there too. So that's great. So the upshot of that is they're really not telling us what's happening. Yes, they've had problems. It sounds like they're going to try to address them as best they can. And what more can you ask?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Now, there were rumours that we would be getting a Tier 5. As you know, they recently added Tier 4 for those who are command rank 300 and above. They were going to increase the number of command ranks, but they wrote that off as a bad idea. But there were rumours, due to a particular deco appearing under collections, I think, where it was supposedly coming from a Tier 5 command crate. Now, Keith responded to this one as well and has confirmed that there is not going to be a Tier 5, as in levels, command crates or anything like that, anytime soon. So apparently he's going to talk after the roadmap, which means sometime soon, about their gearing vision for the coming year, just how they're going to be handling the tiers. But anyway, nothing soon, at least for now, which is good.
Wow. It's not that long ago Tier 4
Right.
came out, so
Exactly.
Yeah, it's too soon.
chill a bit,
Yeah.
right?
There's almost no doubt it will come, and they'll probably have a Tier 5, maybe even a Tier 6. Keith, etc. will tell us up until the next expansion. And then who knows what's going to happen, assuming they are going to have any more expansions. Now, there's a thought. Imagine if they go the Windows 10 model. As you know, Windows 10, there will never be another version of Windows. There could be never do another expansion of SWTOR. It seems a bit unlikely, but...
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Anyway. So, no Tier 5 anytime soon. Now, let's talk about maintenance. They did have a kind of surprise maintenance on Thursday last week. And...
Yeah, for the 25th.
On the 25th. And when they started to explain this, they first said that going forward, they are going to give us a schedule of upcoming maintenance at the beginning of each month for that month. So, for example, they've already posted that on June 13th, which is a couple of weeks away, on Tuesday, they'll be releasing Game Update 5.2.2, so we knew that was coming. And then a couple of weeks after that, Tuesday, June 27th, they'll be doing back-end maintenance again.
Okay.
So what they actually said in this post, and this was Keith again, he was telling us what they've been doing with all this back-end maintenance that we've really just been guessing at. So, specifically, they have been migrating from one data center to another and upgrading the game server hardware and supporting software. Now, so just what's a data center? Well, I guess most people probably realize by now that when you log into the Harbinger, it's actually located in a data center, which is just a big building full of computers. Usually they would be rack-mounted computers, massive arrays of them. Who knows how many actually make up each server. There's probably some shared hardware in each data center as well. And so, anyway, that's what a data center is, and they moved to another one for whatever reason. Maybe a bigger one, all kinds of reasons why that could be. And he's also said they're upgrading the game server hardware, which essentially means upgrading the actual PC, the actual servers, the PCs, the rack-mounted PCs, which are in the data center, which run the game, which means if you're upgrading, you're getting faster CPUs, faster memory, all of that.
Good.
So, it's worth noting
Not a bad thing.
Not at all, because everything, as you said, you won't directly notice improvements in performance, but it's more scalability. These changes dramatically help us maintain the game and improve its overall reliability. Yeah, so as you said, it's a massive undertaking, and it is, and the fact they've had so little downtime, relatively speaking, is kind of amazing, actually. For anyone who maintains any kind of large-scale system like this, it's a miracle there isn't more downtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it's very well planned for them.
Oh, yeah. Yes. very smoothly
Yeah.
run. They're doing all kinds of upgrades. This is a significant investment, it would seem. You don't spend this much money on upgrading all your hardware, a big relocation, if you weren't thinking at least medium to long term for the game.
Yeah.
So it sounds like BioWare really are doubling down on SWTOR, at least for some amount of time to come. You'd have to say at least a year for this kind of capital investment.
Definitely.
Possibly longer. Probably longer. So that's great. Now, he goes on to say maintenance, as we've experienced previously, they usually have one every couple of weeks on a Tuesday. And people were complaining about this, but do you remember when the game first came out and the way MMOs used to be? There used to be one every week.
Yeah.
Usually on a Tuesday, and usually for like 8 hours. SWTORs have always been a bit shorter, and they seem to have got shorter over time.
And
But-
I think all of the people complaining about it usually lives in US and they don't even feel it as much as other countries. Because for us, it's during prime time during afternoon that it's being taken down.
And for us, it's
So-
late evening, usually like 10
Yeah.
p.m. or 11 p.m., where a lot
So
of people
if-
are still playing.
That it's only like every 2 weeks, it's not really that bad.
No. This sounds like something that people are just finding something to complain about. So, come on. There's plenty of things to complain about in the world. Yeah, anyway.
Exactly.
And anyway, so they do try to keep the maintenance as quick as possible, and they usually succeed. Their Thursday maintenance turned out to only be 75 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and that apparently was the last part of the migration, presumably migrating between the data centers that they just had to get up and running. So, yeah, and they just, when you're doing this level of maintenance at the fundamental infrastructure for your game or your system, yeah, you have to take it offline. You can't do that kind of stuff live. You could do some level of hot swapping, but yeah, not without the chance of something messing up badly. So anyway, again, as I said, what they actually do accomplish with a game of this scale is kind of amazing in terms of minimizing downtime.
But it's actually nice to know these things as well, because when you then, and maybe I'm sounding a little bit egocentric, but when you get people coming into your channel and sitting and being all mad about all these things, it's nice to be able to tell them again, okay, you are angry about this, but try and research it. There's actually a reason for this, and that's just to improve it for you. It's just, please just relax and maybe read up what it is they're actually doing for you.
Agreed. Yeah, seriously. And especially now they publish the schedule in advance. Everyone knows when it's going to happen. No surprise.
Yeah.
You don't just hear a few days before. No, it's all good. This is all good. I've got to say, just across the board, I've been happy with Keith's leadership ever since he took over. It's been just all
I
up.
think he's done really well.
Yeah. And which is even more so really glad that we managed to meet him in person at the cantina. So,
Yeah.
he's as sincere as it comes. What you see is literally what you get. So, yeah, it's great. All right. Quick note on level 1 gold spammers. You may be getting, or gold spammers, credit spammers, you may be getting whispered from level 1 characters. These are from accounts that they must be preferred or subbed to actually be able to whisper at level 1.
Yeah.
And that means they've been compromised. So, usual story, report that kind of thing when you see it so they can get those accounts locked down. And protect your own account, get a security key. Remember, you can get the mobile app, and you can use Google Authenticator. You can get the SWTOR app for
And remember,
Android or iTunes.
And remember, you actually get 100 cartel coins a month for that.
But nothing else. Just attach it, and you don't have to be sub. That used to be sub only. They changed it a while ago, so anyone could do it. 100 cartel coins just for having your account secure against hackers. Yeah, it's good. It's all good. All right. Now, there was a recent East Coast server issue, just ongoing stuff that impacted the East Coast data center. Yeah, there may have been a minor rollback. I don't know. It was extended downtime. They kept they were communicating again. Once they're settled into the new data centers and with the new hardware, there's always some glitchy shit that happens, to be honest, when you do any kind of upgrade or move, then it'll be fine. But we're experiencing teething problems. And again, it's a miracle there haven't been more. So, all good. Yes, we're getting to the roadmap. We're nearly there, so don't panic. Last little small thing, the Terms of Service and End User License Agreement, the TOS and the EULA. Some people have been experiencing them whenever they start the game. They have to accept them again, both of them.
Yeah,
of course.
I have that issue.
Right.
I
It's
have to
been
accept
fixed.
all the time.
Interesting. I have not. No.
Right. Yeah, I didn't see it either. So, as of now, apparently, you will no longer have to sign it. Has it gone away for you, Oliver?
Nope, it hasn't. So I might
Okay.
have to write in a ticket because I have to accept it all the time. After I reinstalled over the weekend, I'm gonna have to accept every time.
Okay, right. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna write directly to Keith.
as you should. Yeah. I suspect if it isn't fixed now, it'll probably be fixed by the next maintenance.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
522. All right, roadmap. Now, before we kick into the detail, Keith was talking about he's been keeping people apprised of just where the roadmap was. He had it written a while ago, but it had to go through their review cycle. That's standard for any big company, especially like a company as big as EA. And in one of those communications, he mentioned where he was at in the game. He's up to his 4th command rank 300 character, and he's been putting a lot of thought into what to level next. Pretty hard decision, quite a few characters, and he really wants to spend time with all of them. Does he play Import Pub this time? He just finished his healer, so maybe his tank? Just giving us a bit of insight. And then people were saying, do you play on game time? And Eric jumped in at that point and said, I'm going to hype man Keith here. I've worked with and sat next to him for years. I've never once seen him play on his personal account at work. All that sweet leveling happens on his own time. He plays a lot of SWTOR.
Yeah.
And having, again, heard him talk directly, it is painfully obvious he really does play the game. A lot.
He seems very dedicated to this game.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's good. That's exactly what you would hope for in the leader of the game, or the lead producer.
Yeah, it really is kind of ideal because you can completely see a big company just sort of getting a hired gun who's done other community jobs for other blah blah blah. Maybe knows about SWTOR, maybe doesn't. Not in Keith's case.
No, he can relate much better to it.
Exactly. They could, as you say, they could have got a professional manager who doesn't know anything about games and just as a head kicker. Yeah, that would be rough. All right, so let's talk roadmap. It's here. The SWTOR roadmap for 2017. So they just do a bit of intro and they talk about the summer of SWTOR. Yes, it's once again the summer of SWTOR, which officially begins on 13 June 2017. So this roadmap covers all our plans, including what?
Before you start, just remember there's actually an event in this weekend.
Yes, I'm getting to that.
They tweeted out, which is not part of this. Yes,
I know.
Cool.
The Defenders of SWTOR. We will talk about that later.
Okay.
Yes, I did see it. Nearly missed it. All right. Firstly, he talks about gameplay direction. So this is reiterating effectively the strategy they've talked about. As we know, prior to the last couple of years, it's been Codfin Cotet, story, and the whole anything else sort of went out the window to some extent. But now their focus is to return to massively multiplayer and group-based content, MMO stuff. And so he obviously mentions the new operation boss, Tithe, and the fact that there will be 4 more bosses coming in that operation. The twins are coming in 522 in mid-June. And their focus now is on gameplay improvements that will continue throughout this year. And they will be revisiting existing game systems to provide enhancements wherever possible. And he does give some examples of that as they go through. So operations, it was obviously far too long, as he says, since they provided their last multiplayer content. Decent, large-scale multiplayer content, 8-man or 6-man, 16-man. So that's what they're going. That is what they're doing. The twins, the second encounter, are already on the PTS. When some people have been playing that, it's still invitation only, I believe. Yeah, so all of that is coming. And with the release of the twins, that's Isni and Avella, the veteran mode for Tithe will be added as well.
Yeah. Have you
I think
tried
also-
Tithe?
No, not me. Not yet.
Have you, Jill?
Not yet, no.
Okay. I've tried it with Group Finder for story mode, and it is actually quite interesting. So if you have the chance to try it out, it's easy to do with story mode. It's not difficult to do, so people don't have to be scared of trying it even with pugs on story mode. But it's interesting just for how it looks, how it interacts, and so on.
Okay.
It is
Cool.
actually pretty good.
All right. One day, Oliver. One day. Well, could always wait until the full 5 are out and then just binge at the end. What's the fun in that? We still don't know whether you have to go through Tithe to get to the second encounter, or is it a set of doors and you can just go straight to number 2?
Well, from what it looks like at the moment, it looks like you have to go through him.
Okay.
But it's just how it looked when I was in there, how
Sure.
it's been built up. But we'll see how they're gonna do it.
Okay. All right. So that's operations. Next is PvP. They mentioned the 2 new PvP war zones. Well, one 8v8 and one 4v4 arena. So I guess that does count as 2 new war zones. And they're going to continue improving PvP by adding fun activities throughout the year. So Season 8, which is currently in progress, will end at the end of August in conjunction with Game Update 5.4, Crisis on Umbara. We'll talk more about that later. And they're finalising the rewards, and next time they hope to get the rewards out earlier, because as far as I know, we have not seen the rewards for Season 8 for those doing PvP. Class balance, yeah, they kind of recognise it's a little bit broken at the moment. And so the combat team is hard at work building a plan for future balance changes. And they'll be rolling out the changes with 5.3 in July. That's the Sisters of Carnage patch. Have I been saying... Yeah, okay, so the new... Oh, crap. That means I've been misspeaking. 5.2.2 will not have the new bosses. I'll have to re-edit that out when I go. What a pain. Alright, so... Yeah, okay. In July, and we'll continue monthly updates until we're satisfied with all the adjustments to class balance. And as he says, I'm confident you'll let us know your opinions after each update. Yes, I'm sure the player base will let you know their opinions of class balance.
Definitely.
Definitely. Very, very loudly. Now, they're going to make unassembled components legacy. At the moment, they are specific to bind or pickup. So stuck to your characters, more or less. So, again, making playing with your alts that much better.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, definitely. And the remainder of this year, and this is what people are really interested in, there will be a new war zone. They don't say whether it's 8v8 or arena. For Galactic Starfighter GSF, there will be changes. I think they talk a bit more about that later. There'll be changes to ranked PvP. And as I said, earlier notification of Season 9 rewards. And they will continue with the class balance. And I believe he said they're going to try to do that on a monthly cadence. I've heard that before. This is all sounding eerily familiar. I think under Ben Irving they stretched it out again. They were trying to do it every month, but that just wasn't working. So I guess they're going to try to go back to that. Alright, next, story and companions. They're going to continue moving the story, like for the War on Ikath, they're going to continue that story. And the next major story update will be in August, which is Crisis on Umbara. Now, Chill, do you recall, or Oliva, the Clone Wars episode on Umbara?
Yeah.
So, this is according to the
It's
Star
gonna be a little
Wars...
bit exciting.
The Star Wars databank, so just summarizing Umbara, if you don't recall, Umbara is known as the Shadow World due to the rays of its sun never completely reaching its surface. It's perpetually dark. The native wildlife have adapted to survive in such gloom, making the planet perpetually dangerous. Umbara was once part of the Galactic Republic, represented in the Senate by whoever. Later in the Clone Wars, stuff happened, separatists, something. So, obviously, this is way back in the past, so Umbara is presumably still part of the Galactic Republic, given we are the old Republic. But yeah, no sunlight
Cool.
reaching the surface. Now, I don't
It's
recall
gonna
those
be
episodes. Why? Why didn't the sun reach the surface?
I can't remember myself, but I have a feeling it could be the same as Qatar. That the sun is a red dwarf. I actually can't remember
fair
why
enough.
the sun didn't go there.
Yeah, okay. Red dwarf would certainly explain it. Just doesn't emit enough light in the right spectrum to actually light things up, so to speak, at least so you can see. Cool. All right. Anyway, so that's coming in Crisis on Umbara in Game Update 5.4. So revisiting another world from the Star Wars universe, or bringing it into the Old Republic. And it will include a new flashpoint on the shadowy planet, so on Umbara itself. Remember, Keith said the story would be continued in a flashpoint? That will be it.
Yeah.
Olden companions, extremely important to bring them back. And they're going to make a number of the companions which are currently not customizable. Customizable! What does that mean, you say? At the moment, you've got the customization slot where you can just slip in a particular outfit. Is that true? Actually, do they? They don't, do they?
Customization? No, customization would be
They
on
just
the
can't
face.
be. Anyway, at the moment, you cannot just put on whatever outfit you like on them. They're changing it so you can, just like any of the old school companions. It was never clear to me why they did let us do that. I know for thematic reasons, for the whole story, I guess you didn't want to make them clowns in the cutscenes, but they are changing that. So that does include Theron Chan, Lana, Shay Vizsla, Koth, and Senya. You'll be able to dress them up however you like.
Interesting. Well, yeah. There's that one patch where you could actually do that, and people were doing that
Indeed.
for a short
So
time.
Yeah.
So,
if you've got a whole bunch of chainmail bikinis stored away in your cargo bay, now may be a time to put them on the market. Anyway. And they're going to review and adjust which companions you received through Alliance alerts. Which is kind of weird. I don't know what that means. So there are a set of Alliance alerts which give you back certain companions. Are they going to change that? So
I don't know.
I'm thinking, does it have to do with something to do with this? If you, for example, like with vet, the vet and Torian dilemma.
Oh, and
Oh,
Tony,
yes.
If they're gonna make
Oh,
sure that you
awkward.
cannot get back a companion you've actually killed.
well, I would think more likely they would provide a way of... Is that what you mean? Provide a way of getting back a companion that you killed.
I would
So
actually
you-
thinking prevent it. You killed him.
At the
you
mo-
shouldn't get
well,
it
what
back.
happens now?
Yeah, and
If
they're
you
not
do
really talking
choose-
about through the story. They're talking about the Alliance alerts, which are those things you get
Yeah.
after Chapter 9 of Kotfi.
Oh yeah, it's Alliance alert. Sorry, it's me
Hmm.
just speaking.
That's all right.
I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see what they
Yeah.
mean by that.
Yeah, it's hard to say what they mean by that exactly.
Yeah.
And they're going to increase the ways that you can get influence from
yeah,
doing
so it's
in-game
not just
tasks.
through gifts.
Yeah, they already said they're going to be adding crafting to that, and that's what's happening in 5.2.2.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just going to be adding other things. Maybe gathering. Did that include that? Sending them on crew school missions is what actually gets you the influence, but maybe if you just, every time you gather a node, that would also give you influence, say, or something, or get them to.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. But anyway, that's coming up. And based on the feedback they received from ICAT, they're going to be exploring options for new daily areas, adding or updating events, and offering special rewards for a variety of in-game activities. That sounds awfully familiar. They did that for a while with other things. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. Finally, quality of life. And that just means fixing bugs and just enhancing the UI, whatever. And increasing legacy perks like the new ones that will increase mount speed.
Yeah, I'm
4 and 5,
about that.
120 and 130%.
I'm happy
Awesome.
about that one.
Yeah, well, me too, actually. Yeah, I'll be getting that. There's our Pepsi product placement. Hold up the
Sorry.
bottle, Oliva. Is it Pepsi?
Sorry.
Whatever
Yeah,
it is.
it's Pepsi.
If only we got paid for that.
I want to get sponsored by them.
Well, I don't know. Is there a lot of money? Sure there
No,
is.
someone already tried. You can't.
Oh, look at that cool glass
Yeah, see,
with the
that's much
Empire
better.
symbol. That's awesome. Anyway, where were we? Also, they're going to look to offer customization improvements, such as adding weapon tuning enhancements to collections.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah, now-
cool.
Cool.
That is very cool. I'm sure the unlock
Yes.
and price
Yeah,
will
'cause-
be impressive, but at least you can, or will be able to.
It should be expensive, I think, because right now it's a consumable
Yeah.
and it's a bit of bling.
Yeah, and right now I hold on to them like a miser holding on to gold, like because I don't want to put it on one, weapon
Yeah.
or for
Mm,
one
yeah.
companion or sorry, one character, and then not play that character for a while and never see the tuning again.
Well, there's actually something I'm hoping they're gonna add a bit to the customization is that I want to be able to customize my weapon onto my look.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I'm using legacy weapons
Right.
because I
Right.
have alts. So it has to be a certain weapon. But
Yeah.
I would love to that, for example, my sorcerer has one look of a weapon and my sage has a different look.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. That
But it's
I would
coming.
love for them to unlock.
Isn't it coming?
There's rumors about it, but it's not.
Yeah, I don't think they've
Certain.
ever copped to that. But
No.
it's-
There's rumors on
they
it.
definitely know that it's something that we're interested in
Yeah.
as a community.
I guess he hasn't listed. Yeah, okay. All right, now let's talk about the Summer of SWOTOR. SWOTOR. All right, so as we said, starts on June 13th with game update 5.2.2. The nightlife event is coming back. Suvada. So I think we'd already been told about that, and there'll be all new rewards, including a new Gamorrean companion.
I
Wait,
need
what?
that.
I'm pretty sure there are no Gamorreans yet, well, previously. This must be the first one.
Yeah, definitely the first.
You only,
Okay.
Yeah, you only see them as NPCs on Tatooine.
Yep. That's
mean-
pretty cool.
Little pigman, sure, okay. They make good bouncers for your stronghold, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, make a good
Alright.
tank or damage companion, I imagine.
Now, Crowfax lets us know that about Umbara, the lack of sunlight reaching Umbara's surface was seemingly due to the cloudy nature of the Ghost Nebula in which the planet existed. Cloudy nature. That
You know
sounds
what, I'll bet-
unlikely.
I'll bet those Gamorrean axes are going to go up in price on the GTN.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. So, where were we? All right. So, Starfighter improvements. So, they mentioned improving GSF. They're going to be increasing requisition gains. And they've talked about this before. Gunship and bomber available by default. And there'll be some new ship customization options. That doesn't sound like much of an improvement to start with GSF, but I'm sure more will come. We talked about getting influence through critical missions.
Very cool.
Sorry, I've just been briefly interrupted by my daughter. Hi, Alan.
Aw.
Yeah.
Does she want daddy?
She does.
Aw.
Sorry about that. I will see her shortly.
The joy of live stream.
Yeah. That's fine. All right, where were we? Command experience legacy perks for alts. So once one of your characters reaches command rank 300, you can acquire a new legacy perk to increase CXP gains on all your other characters.
I think that's
neat.
pretty neat.
That is pretty
Wow, yeah. I thought they'd alluded to this, but that's pretty damn specific. So, okay. One character 300, get the perk, and that would be a character perk. No, it's a legacy perk. A legacy perk, so you can get that to all your other characters. Jeez, I'm sure it won't
Very
be
nice.
cheap, but that would absolutely 100% be worth getting. Depending on just what the bonus is. All right, we'll see. You can now craft tier 4 armor, and they Theron and Shay can have their appearances customized. The rest will be coming, Lana, etc. We mentioned the new mount speeds, 4 and 5, 120 and 130% over the current maximum of 110%. And Tier 1 gear can be purchased for command tokens, the tokens you now get in the ludicrously complex system that we currently have. So that you get from opening command crates.
I think it's fair enough you can get tier 1 gear that way.
Yeah.
It's not so difficult to get, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even tier 2 gear is easy to get, so...
Yeah. It'll be fun to see if the 130% movement speed is like just enough to let some enterprising young folks figure out like new places on the map that they were never quite able to reach before. But now they can jump to it because the speed is better.
Yeah.
We will see, no doubt, no doubt.
There will be people who will try.
Yeah.
Now, while we're talking about the game update 5.2.2 coming June 13th, Eric has also listed out all the bugs that they are fixing. And this includes, let's see, this is the current list, not all confirmed. They're going to try and get all these in. Now, if you finish the War for Ikath and you're unable to summon Alara or Malavai Quinn, you can now use the companion locator terminal, because a bunch of people missed out on getting either companion. So yeah, use that fancy little terminal on Odessen and you'll be able to get them back. So that's nice. That's really good. Players can no longer see group chat after leaving or being removed from a group finder group. Oh, that would have been awkward. Okay. Apparently someone in Black Talon is dropping a rating 200 gear. Yadara Ban in Black Talon. And they're gonna stop doing that, which is probably a good thing. If you were trying to do the Taspin ambush space mission, you can once more in 5.2.2. Apparently it's not available on the Galaxy map at the moment. Oh no. Sammy's trapped inside. Major Valor boosts are rewarded from encrypted data cubes are now bind on pickup. That means currently they're bind on equip maybe, or bind on legacy. So anyway, they are now stuck to your character. Multiple cartel market mounts will appear more zoomed out in the preview window. Sure. I'm just picking out a subset of these.
That's nice, yeah, because a lot of times you first click on them to see what they look like. You end up just, like, if it's a animal mount, you only see the feet.
Yeah.
They will correct an issue where players can get more than 8 players onto their team in war zones. They sort of slipped that one in towards the end, but that one's kind of important to fix.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how easy that is to do. Anyway, and the Kurtop Alliance Speeder, that is the one you got from the Refer a Friend program, has received its long overdue tune-up and once again moves at the proper speed.
Oh, so there's more than one reason for me not to use that one.
You don't like it?
I think it looks cool because all the sort of pod racy ones look cool, but it has this really high pitched whine to its noise, and I just cannot handle that after a while.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So I didn't even. Of course, I did because I always take that off of my random mount. I wasn't even aware it was not. I wouldn't have been aware that it's moving slowly.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so that's all. These are just various bug fixes. The full patch notes will obviously be published just shy of 5.2.2, coming June 13. Now, following that, Sisters of Carnage is planned for July. I notice they're not giving us a date. Game update 5.3, that's where we get the second encounter. A Vela and Esne in story and veteran mode. And I said veteran before. They're adding master mode for Tithe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and edit that too, or just...
Oh, come on, I still have a tendency to say story mode, hard mode, nightmare.
Yeah.
I still do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright. And here's something. A brand new stronghold with a great view of the ocean.
I am excited for this.
I hope.
Mana. That's the logical assumption.
It seems the obvious choice. That is Manon.
With
but
an
it's
ocean.
not confirmed anywhere.
Right.
What other planets actually have oceans at the moment?
Well, there's plenty of planets that can do
Oh,
that.
lots of
like
them. But
Yeah, but where we can actually get to said ocean.
like Ord Mantell.
Yeah. Oh god, I hope not.
Balmora.
Well, they can't do one that is only Republic or Empire, so it's got to be a
Balmora?
planet that is accessible to both. So
Balmora
where else?
would be an option.
Balmora. Is there
It
an
does
ocean?
have oceans. Yeah. it
There
does.
is some, yeah. You think of it as being mostly rocky
But
Yeah.
plains,
no
but
matter
there's
what,
definitely some water there.
Yeah. Okay.
no matter what, it is
Balmora
the
would be a
obvious
terrible
choice
place.
that it would be Manan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
yes.
has
'Cause-
already been concept art leaked about this stronghold, so
Hmm.
it seems obvious.
I was thinking of Alderaan, and Born to Eat Bacon and Halen 4 also mentioned that.
Yeah, Aldrin.
Because now, I've always wanted a stronghold on Alderaan, but Mana, sure, why not?
Well,
That'd be right.
seriously, the concept art I saw, it looks really amazing. So, I'm excited. And I like to fiddle around with strongholds. I spend a lot of time customizing my strongholds. I have all 5 and they're all at 100%.
And while we don't talk about data mining, it looks like it is Manan. Though it could always be Hoth, as Starry Saber says, they've got frozen oceans. Yeah, anyway. Oh, Ricarda Prime, as
Ricarda
Dex
Prime?
says.
Ricotta Prime,
Sure.
yeah.
That could be really beautiful, yeah.
Anyway, we're looking forward to our new stronghold on Manan. That'll be great. Now, let's see. Some new filters for searching for stronghold decos. Alright. And they're going to start class balance changes for Gasp, Sork, Sages, and
Yay!
Caltex Vanguards. What a shock. And I assume they're going to buff. Are Assassin Shadows doing a bit crap at the moment? Or are they doing well?
It got nerfed a while
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
So it probably needs a bit of a buff, but the sorcerer definitely does.
Yep.
I'm sorry to say,
Snipe-
but my character sucks.
Snipers, gunslingers. Mercs Commandos are way overpowered at the moment, are they not?
They will be nerfed.
Yes, yes. And Operative Scoundrels, they need a buff as well. I think Keith mentioned that, given he
Yeah.
does apparently play an Operative. He plays everything. No favoritism. And they'll be adding a few more companions to customize, such as, obviously, Lana. Hopefully. Alright. And the last one they mentioned, Chainmail Bikini, is game update. Not that I would. Anyway, game update 5.4 coming in August. Crisis on Umbara. We've already talked about that. That's the new Flashpoint. Crisis on Umbara, and appearances for additional companions can now be customized once again. More to come. So does that mean we're actually going to be able to get to Umbara, or will it just be a Flashpoint? Oh, I'd hope they add a daily area
see.
to it if they're doing the planet at all. Surely.
It would be nice if they do it a bit more extensive than they did with for example, Ricarda Prime, where it's only a flashpoints.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Agreed. I guess we'll see. Alright. And lastly, he does talk about player communication. They're going to improve their cadence of releasing information, which they're already doing. And just going to keep doing that. They're going to chat with us on a regular basis. They're going to be posting on the forums throughout June and July about specific features that they're thinking about and those already in process. So we talked about this a bit earlier. They've never done this really before in terms of really trying to get feedback about stuff that they're just planning or are currently developing. So this is the chance for the player base to actually contribute to the discussion in a meaningful way and potentially alter the course of how that stuff is developed. At the previously, feedback didn't really seem to change very much, but I get the impression that is now changing. If players say something has to be changed, my guess, and the proof of the pudding will be in the eating, those comments will be listened to and actioned.
Yeah, and it has to be said as well within reason, because you do hear the stupid ones like Merc needs stealth. Come on.
Yep.
So within reason, they seem to listen to everything.
They want to get our input and talk through the pros and cons of each topic to see how we feel. Just quoting Keith here. We'll set expectations for how we want to interact to keep our engagement productive. But if we do all this correctly, it'll be a fun and rewarding experience. That means, just reading between the lines, that if you just get on there and just bitch, you'll probably be banned from the forums. I'm sure they'll give you a chance, but, the usual infraction and all those rules apply. So just be constructive, try to be positive, don't just bitch.
Yeah.
Work with them, and we'll get what we want. Just complaining about it, does the squeaky wheel get the grease or the oil? I don't know. Sometimes it just gets replaced. So, yeah. Anyway, they're going to be posting on a very wide range of topics, new content to the invigoration of existing features, and they're posting every Wednesday. So that's when it's going to turn up. And there'll be an updated roadmap every quarter. So this isn't it for 2017.
Really nice.
Expect it next quarter. There'll be another
That's
one.
really nice.
So thank you, Keith, lead game producer. Awesome. All right. Now I'm going to talk about the annual report. So we talked about the earnings call for the last quarter that EA put on. And I hadn't realized a year has come around. They have put out their annual report. And obviously, what do they say about SWOTOR? Nothing. Nothing. Not a word for the past year. Now, in 2016, SWOTOR was one of the primary drivers for digital net revenue. In fiscal year 2017, it presumably wasn't a primary driver. Primary drivers included some sports crap, Battlefield 1, and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, a mobile game. It's all relative, of course. I mean, those games have been spectacular successes. So as long as SWOTOR is making enough money to keep the lights on, that's all that actually matters. But it must have done all right with Kotfi, and Kotate probably not so much. Or at least it was more likely overshadowed. So anyway, that's all we know from the annual report. And if you've been watching EA's share price, they have been doing really, really well. So any investor in EA is probably extremely happy at this point. All right, last thing we'll talk about in the news is something Oliva mentioned earlier. It just got announced, the Play to Give campaign and SWOTOR's participation in it. This is an electronic arts initiative. What it is through Play to Give, we're celebrating the importance of inclusion and play and the positive connections it makes for all the diverse players around the world. Help us celebrate what everyone in our galactic community contributes to our galaxy. Now, EA is partnering with United Nations He for She, which is a global solidarity movement for gender equality and anti-bullying organisations. Pace Centre and Ditch the Label. So anyway, this is all good stuff, in essence. So gender equality, which is good, and anti-bullying, which is just as good. So yeah, this is just good that EA is actually getting involved in this kind of stuff. So thank you. Now, as far as what this means for SWOTOR, the event will run this weekend, Friday, June 2nd through June 4th. All you have to do is log in, and you will get the PL2G Defender, Battle Droid Mini Pet. But the other part of it, there is a title up for grabs, and it is Galactic Defender, an in-game title. But the only way to get that, and anyone who logs in during the period will get it, if players of SWOTOR participate in a grand total of 1 million or more total group activities. Now, they do list out the kind of things: flashpoints, uprisings, operations, PvP, GSF, story missions, heroic missions, but you do have to be in a group. You can't do it solo. So anything involving...
Basically just to have to be in a group.
Yes, and doing something.
Basically.
So I think just grouping up isn't quite enough. You do actually have to do something. But as I say, heroics, even just running blown missions,
easy, yeah. You can even
world
just do that
bosses,
with one person.
Exactly right. So yeah, and this, remember, we've only got from Friday through Sunday, and yeah, but they do have to clock up 1 million. So it'll be. I hope we can do it.
Well, I think it's perfectly timed. I'm gonna be doing like guild runs this weekend, and it's the first time we're doing it. So we're gonna be doing it on Saturday and participating.
Cool.
Good. I suspect I'm going to be a bit of a freeloader, but well, at least
Log in for
this
the pet
time.
at least.
Yeah, I'll do that for sure. Let's see. Anyway, so that's fantastic, and that's the news.
All right, then that'll bring us to the Force Feedback, where we read out your tweets and emails. And first, thanks to our latest Utini patron, Sephiroth. Thank you, Sephiroth. And let's see. All right, Razhax wrote in, what gives some players the fancy nameplates now? Darth Brundlefly replied, I gather you're referring to the character flares that were added to the cartel market. I mean the game. I wish SWTOR would put as much effort into all the game flares. Only the lottery box versions have cool animations. And so now on your character portrait, if you've either accomplished certain things in game, or I guess now that apparently there's some cartel market ones now as well, and it has like a little gold area with a little symbol of some sort.
This would be the aforementioned bling that Keith was referring to.
Yeah,
yes.
you can
So
get
if you've done if you've done all the class stories, that's definitely one of them. And then you can also when you're at level 70 and you're starting to get CXP, then there's like I think it's 1, 2, 3, maybe now 4 versions of that one as well.
But and once you get these flares, how do you actually enable them?
Well, you go to your character screen, and it's very close to like where you would go once you've got your armor and stuff and all that good stuff that you can look at. Up by your name and all that sort of thing, there's going to be a place to click on, and it'll have a little drop down menu that you can select it from.
Right. Sorry, Leva, you were saying?
It's around the same place where you would choose like your legacy, your titles, and all that stuff.
Oh, it's just the ones you can get on Galactic, or what's it called, Cartel Market at the moment. You can get the Alliance Commander, you can get the Corrupted Commander, and then you can get the Signs of the Havoc. I was lucky enough to get the Signs of the Havoc, and it looks really, really cool. It gives
Signs of the what? I'm sorry?
Havoc. So it's basically for the trooper, but it looks really nice. Right. It can be used on anything. Cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah, the Havoc Squad has a very distinctive symbol.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't realize this. You can actually see the flare. If you set your flare to whatever, other people can see it if they target you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Dekion says, pro tip, if you see anyone in PvP showing their tier 1 flare, beware, they are really tier 4. That's kind of clever. Yes, because obviously you have all the ones previous to your current tier. Nice.
Okay. Blay wrote in, just catching up on episode 308. If bronze is removed and you will always get an item, surely that makes silver the new bronze?
Yes, I believe that is true, though actually I guess that makes the chance cubes the new bronze, well and truly. The chance cubes are bronze, are they not? From memory?
Yeah, I think, well, they'll still drop the bronze stuff, won't they?
No, they drop everything.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, including bronze.
Including bronze, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, it's true. You can get really good stuff from him, too. All right. And he also wrote out to Ivalon regarding the music that we all discussed last time, which was so much fun. Blay wrote, I was actually quite disappointed by the music in Rogue One. It wasn't Star Wars enough for me. And Ivalon wrote him back, yeah, I know what you mean, but my only real gripe with it is the theme under the title card. Tio nailed it with generic adventure movie.
Yeah.
And then someone else named, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Jaliak? Jaliak wrote in, I think the composer only had 3 to 4 months to do it. At least that's what I heard. And Evelyn wrote back, I think so. Possibly even more like 2 months. Wow. Don't get me wrong, he is a monster. Jaliak wrote, yeah, I heard he had to rush, and that's hard for a Star Wars movie and following John Williams and so on. Yeah. Evelyn wrote, exactly, I can't imagine that pressure, although he did have a whole team of ghostwriters and orchestrators to help, right. Which makes sense. Yeah. So, yeah, taking all the basic, the ideas and then fleshing it out and all the instruments that would be needed and so on. Evelyn wrote, still, I really hope we will eventually get to hear a Star Wars score by Alexander Desplat, the guy who was supposed to do Rogue One. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I remember Evelyn was really disappointed when they switched over. So, oh well, maybe in the future.
Yeah. And Sashari wrote into Evelyn, dude, your insights on OotiniCast 308 gave me goosebumps. I had noticed the uptick in 4.0 music myself. I love the brass especially. And everyone wrote back, thanks, Sashari. That means a ton. Totally agree on the brass. It sounds raw in a very awesome way, as does the choir. And let's see, while listening to OotiniCast, Graham 310 said of the 3 notes in Rogue One, it's telling us that we're stepping back to see what happened before.
Very wise. Yeah, he's right.
Mm-hmm.
Which it was.
Right. So musically, that's an interesting observation.
Yeah.
And our guildie Ducky wrote in. Ducky writes, greetings, it's Ducky again with a few updates for the event held on the 3rd of June. It's a Republic side event, so that's this weekend, and that's going to be during that event. So, we'll all be grouping up for that. Nice. Everyone who...
Absolutely. Perfect timing, even though they didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
big coincidence.
It's a Republic side event. Early planning stages for another one on Imperial side sometime down the road. For the Where on Tatooine is Carmen, we will inform through Teeny Chat a general region of the Dune Sea that she will be in. Northern, southern, eastern, western, or central. She will be in the open and not hiding in anything. Unconfirmed reports that she may or may not appear as a box at times. Someone's got that item. The 500 should take about 15 minutes, and there will be opportunities to get knocked off of your mount. That's cool. Prizes will be a choice from a group of 10 creature mounts, no duplicates, and from the packs that are at least 1 year out of date, which is cool too. Nice. Actually, the older ones are actually more valuable, so that's cool.
Yeah, they are.
The prices do tend to go up on those. And P.S. I did eventually make a Twitter account at Ahnuri, AHNNURIE, and will likely try to post some info there as things get closer to and during the event. Have a great day. Thanks, Ducky.
Thank you, Ducky, and very awesome. And yes, I'll include his Twitter handle in the show notes if you do want to find out more about the event and find out what's happening.
Very cool.
Right, anything
else? Yeah.
Cover. An excellent chat room as always. Thank you guys for dropping by. All right, that'll be it, I think.
All right, then. Perfect. That's the show. If you'd like to play with us in the Utini Knights Guild on the Republic side of the Harbinger server, or in our Guild on the Empire side, do a /c join Utini to join the Utini channel. Then let us know you're a fan of the show. You can email questions and comments about the show to utinicast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter using @utinicast. You can find contact details for all of us on our website, utinicast.com, which includes how to subscribe to us using iTunes, Stitcher, and the rest. We record the show live semi-bi-weekly on Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Go to utinicast.com/live to find out how to join in. Our theme song is Doomsday by Jean-Paul Zogby. Thank you to the chat room, and thanks to Leva.
Thank you for having me.
You bet, and we'll see you next week.
All right, guys, thank you. And next week, 2 weeks' time, one of our guests will be Sinwolf, and we're going to be talking all things EU because he has an unhealthy appreciation of the extended universe, Star Wars extended universe.
Very cool.
Unhealthy, maybe I mean just broad. Anyway, yep. And who knows what else will be happening. That will be just after the release of 522. So we'll probably have some patch notes to go through. Yes. And all that good stuff. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. May the Force be with you and or serve you well. See ya. Pepsi.
Stopping broadcast.